Okay, so everyone can see the stream all right. All right, so we got a box here. Zoom in onto the box. A squid with the hat. Okay, squid. I have already made a squid, so maybe we can start with that. If I can find it. Actually, yeah, let's just make a new one. I remember not being able to find it before. So let's just bevel these edges here, make a kind of a squid shape going on. Let's do something like this. Oops, that was not the right angle to cut that from here. Alright, this is kind of like making balloon animals. You know, it happens kind of fast and it's kind of mesmerizing to watch. Look, what's he doing? What's all that squeaking? Is it gonna pop? Alright, so we're making the squid. This is gonna be the head. So you can see there. I'm going for a no reference kind of a feel here. It's gonna be a squid with no references. So we need more arms. Let's do that. And then let's scale those thusly so it's about even. Bring that in more. And I suppose it could even work like this. I've never tried this before, but space? No, that does not. Yeah, because they're independent. It wouldn't work like that. Independent of each other. 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, so it'll have quite a number of arms. One. Maybe if I just go like that, it'll be better. Okay, so we're going for 6 arms. I think that'll suffice. Okay, we're going to grab these 3 panels like this. Okay, never mind. Let's cut this into several. Let's cut this into several pieces. Should be good. And maybe. See, I want to be able to do them all at once. But let's see. Okay. It's kind of like a squid so far. One thing that's going to really help here is we're going to subdivide the geometry to make it all smooth looking. There we go. Now, I'd like to do something about rotating these arms so that they're not just completely, you know. Yeah. Alright. So let's just grab all of these. Go back to this view. Rotate a roux. Maybe this could be a little bit more like the other one. A little bit. Alright, so it's going to need a hat once we get the face and everything in there. I broke out my tablet, and this entire time I've just been using the mouse. Listen to me clicking away. Here we go with the tablet. All right. Just move those over a little bit. Okay. So we're gonna make some eyes here. Some nice squiddly eyes. Nice and big. That's just the perfect size. Cut those out. We're gonna have to do this kind of a thing too. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we got some eyes. Here's looking at you, squid. Alright, looking good. Inset those a little bit. Yeah. Alright, now let's go to creating some colors. There we go. All right. And then, oh, I see. Probably not going to give them so much of an iris. Is that the right word? Corona, I think. Just because I don't even know if they have those or anything. We'd have to actually look at it. But here we go. So now he's going to need bigger eyes. You can see that. Yeah. Okay. And now we're gonna need to save him. And I need to check if there's already squid in here. No, there is not. Squid. Okay. Now let's think about let's make the cuts necessary to give this squid a proper hat. All right. So we're going to switch over here and do something like this for a brim. And I'm thinking cowboy hat, by the way. And do a little extrude maybe. Okay. Already we got a hat looking thing here going on. Just gotta make sure we do this. Otherwise it looks... That was a sea cowboy. Oh, we don't want to give him a white hat. It just blends right in with him. Also, we gotta make him like pink or whatever. So we gotta change the color of the hat. And we'll give that a nice brown. Oops. Nice brown there. Okay. One thing we do have to do is get rid of these faces, otherwise it gets messed up. There. Well, howdy, Pilgrim. Cowboy of the Sea. Let's see. Can we make this brim more stiff? Maybe. There. And then this needs. Let's do another one of these. Oops. Something like that. There we go. Now it kind of looks like there's a new sheriff in town, you see. I think he needs a gun, then the next most important cowboy item. Just kidding. Yeah, he shoots from the hip. His ink. But he does need to be a little bit taller. Oh, thanks. Thank you kindly. Now he needs a mouth, doesn't he? So let's see. Just put that in there. Get rid of that. And then let's see. Take these like that. Maybe a little bit more geometry here. Should be good. You agree, he needs a mouth. Alright. Do the old that-a-roo. Squid octopus fact. They can squish their bodies just about anywhere as long as they can... their beaks can fit. Yeah, their beaks are like underneath, like though, right? Something like that. So, let's see. Let's get a look underneath here. Do that. And do this. And do that. And do this. It's like a spider web. Probably not the best geometry, but there. So if we have this as the beak, right? Or does that look weird? That would look weird. Another squid fact, they have an organ that has been named the quill. It's similar to how a feather is made of keratin, and it's flexible enough it can write with it. Oh. And I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Alright, let's just bring this in. Make sure this is the right axis here. There we go. Oh, I know. I had to add up the viewport here, so it's showing more of when everything's going on. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. That's asking too much. But maybe this. do something like that. There we go. It's really cool to write with. I have done a squid dissection for school before. Oh, nice. Alright, so that's pretty, that's getting there to Cuteville, right? More some like around there maybe. Howdy. Howdy, cowboy. And then usually what I do is I'll make teeth. But I don't know. I don't think squids have teeth, so it might look pretty weird if that were the case. Okay. This one could, maybe it's still them. Nice. So I would need to have a way of its jaw coming out maybe around here. To do that. And I've never done that before, so that could be really interesting. So let's make this more like this. It's so weird looking. Also needs like this happening too, right? Needs to be sort of like this. So that's more of what's actually going on behind the scenes. Let's get rid of this. Delete that. And let's make that over here. Well, I've been part of this town since it's right up from dust. Nothing here but tumbleweed and cactus. Hey, digging the hat? Yeah, it came out really well for only being 4 steps. But that was Minnick's idea. There we go. Another thing we could do to make this brim more defined is go like this. Yeah, let's get that going back there. Yeah. Or maybe a sheriff's star. I don't know. This hat's pretty good though. There, that's a little bit better sized. How you doing, Drac? Another thing we can do, I like doing is going like that with these things. Maybe even like that. Yeah. Doing all right. About to hop into Blender myself. Oh, excellent, excellent. What are you up to today? In a Blender. Ooh, that's some weird alien eyes now. I don't know. What's going on? How did I get here? I've come to this planet. Let's see. He needs a slightly different. Oh yeah, here we go. Just can't use the. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. Actually, let's change the material of the cowboy hat to have less of a roughness there. Let's see. I've been working on a little golf game. I love golf. I'm going to keep working on level design. Awesome, awesome. You have to let me know how that continues to go. I almost made it. If I could have, I would have made a golf game myself. In fact, whatchamacallit, the video game that I did work on is almost has golf-like elements to it. White Knight. So let's just select all these at once instead of individually there. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, I absolutely will. There are tons of golf games out there, so I'm trying to do something different than the norm. Excellent. I'm not working on one now, but I was working on the game White Knight. It's on itch.io. If you want to check it out. Let's see. Oh, somehow these got changed. Or no. Maybe it just needs more geometry here. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's got a throw mechanic in it, and you can switch between different fruits or balls. And when the balls hit the ground, they turn into trees. And there are different. So that was one mechanic of it. And then another one is I had at the end of the level to warp out into the main level again. There was kind of like an altar that you could just teleport to, but it was a lantern. But you could also teleport out of the levels by throwing one of the seeds onto the lantern. It's a little known thing. You can also use the fruits to stun enemies and make them dance, which was the very last thing that I added to the game before I stopped production on it. Hey, that's looking good. There we go. Do a little something like that there. That is nice. Do you plan to work? More or less finished, yeah. It was my first Godot game, so, you know, I was mostly just trying it out. And I got really far with it, so I was pretty happy with the process and experience that I had with Godot. So overall. And I'm still using it to this day to make my my plethora of animated models. He needs to be cuter, I think. I think we're doing him a disservice by not making him cuter. So, let us rectify that. I mean, correct that. Let's see. There we go. Circle, insert there. And then we'll duplicate this, change the reflection to give it a reflection rather. And I think that works nice. It's kind of the style I'm after nowadays. Which means that we should change this to white. Alright. Or did he look better before? It's hard to say. Really hard to say here. Maybe something more like this. Oh yeah, he's the new sheriff in town. He needs teeth though. I'm gonna need to figure something out so he can talk. Okay, so this needs to go there, at the very least. And maybe we just take this and this. I'm just trying to figure out what to separate for the bottom half of his jaw for the puppet. And let's see what this looks like. So that'll be doing that. Which may not be bad. Which may not be bad at all. And let's see if we can fix this up a little by just getting rid of that and possibly this. Yeah. These were no longer needed. Yeah, that looks pretty seamless there. Just need to go in and select these also. Separate those. That should have brought, those should have been in with this initial one, but there we go. Now we'll move it. Looks like this, I guess. So we'll finish those up, and then we will make the teeth. That's pretty good. So we'll just hide this for now. Focus on that. Okay. So we're looking at closing this geometry. We've got that going on. Oh, we got the wrong material selected here. Okay. Fill that. And okay. Let's see, what am I looking at here? Okay, that looks fine. Take one of these, do that, and can you do that now? Take one of those. Okay, those aren't even attached, oddly. Alright. So that's going to be the bottom lip. Let's make more geometry here. Gonna fill out that lip more. Now that it's bigger, just getting more of an idea of the detail work of it. Let's extend it. Not too far, but yeah. All right, let's grab one of these. Bring this over there. Fill out this, I guess. Oops. No, I am clearly there. Okay. And then just top this off. Now before we put the teeth in, we just have to finish eating the vegetables, basically, and that's what I call this. You can't have the dessert of the teeth without finishing the lower jaw. So we got some pointiness going on here. Okay, that's because of this. All right. Just get rid of that. And let's see what this looks like. Okay. So maybe if we bring this a little further out like this, it'll sit better. Anyways, I think that's good. Let's just see what this looks like. Okay. Yep, that's gonna work. So we'll hide that and then focus on this. Now, this is roughly the same process where we're gonna wanna fill this in. Not sure what this geometry was. Can get rid of it though. Okay. And I got rid of this before on the other one. Hopefully it works out. we just do that? That there. That there. Okay. That. Attach that to this. Do that. That and that. And now we might be ready for the teeth now. Yay, squid. That's right. Oh, howdy, partner. We're going to want a darker color back here. So I usually go for... We'll do this. This is good. Rationalize. Well, howdy. Welcome to the stream. How are you today? Hope you're doing great. So maybe we'll just subdivide this here. Yeah. And then this will be good. Good. Hope you're all well too. Yes, excellent. I am doing very well. Making the squid here as it was Midnix's request at the beginning of the Blender stream. We're about to add some teeth going on here. All right. Now let's add some teeth. Usually I start with taking the outline like this, duplicating it, and then straightening it out this way. So that'll be the top row. We're gonna have to hide the head actually. We can do that. There we are. Okay. And we'll put some, just divide this so we'll give some nice teeth here. All right. Oops. Maybe just two here. Yeah. And then another here. Make that more even. This is going to be a very cartoonish smile, but hey, that's what we're going for here. Now let's make yet another. No, let's make this just the eye color here, and then get a different camera angle. Alright. You can see the shadow of the teeth already. Ooh, interesting. That's a little better. Let's make them a little sharper. But not too sharp. It's nice, cartoonish sharp. All right, and then we're going to use this for the bottom teeth as well. Yeah, this looks pretty good. We'll just put this into position here. Why, crikey. Maybe you can make them a little bit bigger. don't need to be that big. Ooh, that's actually the perfect size. So we'll just duplicate those, separate them, and then add them to this. First we'll flip them. Scale x-axis negative. Is it y-axis? Y-axis? Z-axis? It's one of these axes. Z. There we go. All right. And we'll join it to this one. We'll hide this first. Join. Grab this part. Oops. Yes. I wonder, can I, yes. So I'm going to make this other material here. So kind of like a gum line. And that'll look a little better, I think. Okay, and then just got to make sure we select all of these and make these this darker color. Oops. Lost my chat. All right. Grab this. It's gonna open up the windows here now that we're doing the lawnmower anymore. Okay, that's way this is way better. All right, we'll just do something like this, and then change this to this material instead, and then do the same thing over here. This first. So it looks like that. Okay. And we're going to have to bring these up. Get that back in there. That's looking pretty good. So that's going to be, barring adding a tongue, that's going to be all of the sculpting aspect of the game. I mean, sculpt. Oops. There. All right. So So next, now that we've added the teeth, let's just test this out real quick. Yeah, this is perfect. I will add some armature, and hopefully that comes out really well. It's got the whole body though, so I'm gonna have to do it in 2 parts, I think. Let me think. Yeah, 2 parts. And a nice armature. Make sure it's visible. And oriented the right way. And then, let's see, he'll probably be right around there. Set that as parent, set this as parent to that. Oh wait, gotta select that bone first, then set that as a parent to that. And I found out how to do that from like Reddit or something. Someone just a Google search and see that's gonna come up like a little bit more like that. And even if it's using this bone, but ideally we want just this one. That's actually pretty good. Before we move on to Godot, let's just hide this and this, because I noticed that there's a little bit of something going on here that I could fix. There we go. All right. Now, usually what I do is I just immediately bring it into Godot, set it up, and see how it works. But I could just add the second armature now, so I'm going to do that. You guys will just have to bear with me while I set this up. This is going to include some automatic weight paints. So we're going to get his legs all wiggling as well. So let's just start here. All right. And then we're going to add some legs. Okay. That's good. And whoa, whoops. Okay. Not the easiest job in the world, but certainly not impossible. See, that went together pretty, without too much trouble. Save this, and then do it a couple more times. Maybe I can even just duplicate this and see if that'll work. Wait a second. I think I gotta change this to medium point here. There we go. Alright. Okay. And hopefully this will work really well. And not just be all kinds of messed up for whatever reason. Alright. There's 2 legs. Or arms. Save that. And then one more time. We'll duplicate. Bring that over. Adjust it. Just double checking all of that there. Mirror editing. I forgot to do that. Okay, so I got to remake all of these. That's fine. It's been a while since I've done that, so there we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Shift E. But okay, just make this really quickly again. Alright, and because you can just duplicate it, it's really not that big of a loss of time. Alright, that's pretty good. And do it one more time. And hopefully when we bring this into Godot, it won't be so much of a battle of which bones are which. And we'll just see that it's actually quite simple and straightforward. Okay. Now we take this and do automatic weight paints. Alright. And then bones, yes. And then we parent this to that. And hopefully that works really well. We shall see in a second. Okay. Alright. Now let's see. These are working relatively well. Let's see what this does. Okay. So that might mess things up a little bit, but we'll bring it into Godot and it'll be an experiment. Let's see. Immediately you'll see the game code and the last thing I worked on. Here is another thing, and before that another thing. I actually streamed this. So we're gonna add a rigid body of all things. That's what I've built this around. Gotta show chat again here. Now we're going to add, actually gotta save it in the right folder. Squid. Okay. Now we can import the squid. And hopefully it is not a huge mess. Ooh, looking good. Transform, make local, and then spring. And we're going to need a couple of these. We're going to start with the first bone, which is connected to his jawbone. And we're going to name this squid, just as we're saving it. Squid. And let's see how that reacts. Okay, we forgot to adjust the stiffness. That's crucial, I've found. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, it's a little too stiff maybe. Maybe not. Let's change this transform. Set it there. Let's give it a 10 stiffness. He's probably more loose mouth because he's a cowboy, you know, so. Okay. So that'll be the jaw. Duplicate that and then change the bones to, maybe we can leave those out entirely so it doesn't wobble. But we can do this. The legs here, as you can see. And let's see if those wobble. If not, I'm not going to bother. Ooh, that's actually, it's not bad. Maybe if we started with this one, it'll be even better. Let's see. It could be even worse though. Oh, it is better. Alright, so I would say that's worth doing then. It's for all 6 legs. So this will be the right leg. Okay. And this will be the left leg. Okay. Luckily they're sorted by left and right. Otherwise this would be pretty tricky. This is more like climbing a ladder now. Okay. Okay. Almost complete. Let's see, that's left, so last one. Alright. Let's see these puppies move. Wiggly, yes. We've made it to the wiggle zone. And then there's one more we can try. And if it messes everything up, we can just take it out. So that's for this head to wobble. So we'll do bone 2 to bone 6. Yeah. So if his head wobbles too much then we'll take it out. Okay, yeah, that's oh, it's not working. All right. So we'll just take this and put it into the game engine so we can talk peak wiggle zone. Yes, yes indeed. Let's grab this squid. Bringing it on in there. Change his transform to 0. Okay, his hat is actually giving him some shadow. I like that. Save this. Then we shall add bird script. This script here. Put the multiplier to not crazy. So 1.3 is usually what I set it at. Let's check out the camera before we go into the game engine with this. So we're not going to get a full shot yet. But if we do this, what do you think? Is this a good angle? Big shade. Hat serving its purpose. Yeah. Or do we want more of a front? Squid Eastwood. Make my day. Incredible angle. Nice. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Alright. Now, let's go to the game here and see if it just works. Should just work, unless some error occurs. Yeah. Looks like it's working. Looks like it also needs to be slightly higher, like maybe 2. So that's a little bit more wacky. Can you see his teeth? Or not so much. Well, welcome to the end of the stream. Thanks for coming up with the idea for the squid and the cowboy hat with me, and this has been really fun. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And yeah, we'll try to have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.